Hey, good morning. It's Mike Schenke, Berkshire Hathaway Homes and Shift One Properties in Scottsdale, Arizona. On our way to Paradise Valley meeting, we're going to talk about residential, we're going to talk about commercial, and we're going to talk about the economy a little bit. Let's see, where do we start here? Pay attention to, read beyond the headlines, please. First thing I saw at 3 o'clock this morning when I was up was Phoenix home prices down $14,000. Respectable from last month. Respectable news outlet from Phoenix. That is absolutely incorrect. I looked at their spreadsheet, and they had Yavapai County, they had Pinal County, they had a bunch of different other counties that Phoenix is not in, but their headline said Phoenix home prices are down. It's absolutely not true. So anyway, inventory back up a little bit. Last week, single family detached homes we look at because that's a more stable number. Inventory's back up just a little bit this week. I think up 30 in single family detached home in Scottsdale. We have 3.5 months of inventory. So you'll see the headlines talk about all this inventory coming up. We need about 6 months to have a normal market. There's some homes sitting on the market. They just have been priced, overpriced too long. But interesting, mortgage applications last week increased 11%. That's 14 weeks in a row of increased mortgage applications. So things are moving, and we've had, like I always say, what we do, I can't say what we do is not real exciting. I had a lot of desk time this week, figuring numbers out and valuations, and just looking for opportunities for clients. And so it's interesting just looking out there. I'm always asked, how's the market? Well, what market? Every market has its own little niche. And when's the best time is it a good time to buy? The best time to buy is when you're ready, willing, and able. Best time to sell is when you want to sell and you're ready, willing, and able to sell. So that's what I love about real estate. Each deal is different. It's just working through, and that's where the experience comes in. Logan Matsushami pointed out this morning, affordability was worse in the 1980s. Interest rates were double digits, and I always get the response that things were cheaper then. Well, what I want to point out is as soon as interest rates eased up a little bit, sales jumped up.
Right.
So people always want to buy and sell, and that's always happening. And like I said, we've been super busy this week, and there's some deals popping up out there. Seeing some price drops, things that have been on the market a while. Homeowners, over 50% of homeowners are sitting on over 50% equity. Over 50% of homeowners sitting on over 50% equity. Yeah, that makes sense. So they don't really need to sell. But if you see something you like, let's make a point. Let's put it on paper. Let's make an offer. And that's more what we do. It's always funny. People think what I do, they know what I do, but they have no idea what my day-to-day is. We find opportunities for clients. We kind of know, we have different clients looking for different things. Rarely does somebody call me and say, hey, Mike, we're going to be in town next week and we'd like to hire a realtor to go look at properties. That rarely happens. So I'm a little off. My daughter came back from California with us, and she drove yesterday. And so everything's a little bit off. My OCD is kicking in a little bit. So anyway, Cromford report. There are 5 valley cities in a buyer's market, 6 valley cities in a balanced market, and 6 valley cities still in a seller's market. Like I said, that goes back to we're only at 3.5 months inventory. That's not a lot. So we're digging around, looking at expired listings, looking at different opportunities for clients. Let me know what you think. I've got a guy now. I've done business with him before. Super sharp, 94 years old. He's got a lot of real estate. He's got thousands of acres that we're going to be listing pretty soon. He wants to sell his primary residence. It's full of stuff. He's been there for 40 years. I guess where I want to go with this is he's getting a lot of phone calls on these scams. There's something called equity stripping. Actually, Arizona Attorney General is filing some lawsuits against some unscrupulous real estate investors about stealing equity from or deed. And even I'm doing right now my continuing education credits for Arizona real estate licensing. And there's a new class that's specifically on fraud and deed fraud. So pay attention. It's, when real estate is mostly public information. So if you're an elderly person, you're on a list somewhere, and they know how much equity you have in your house. So they're calling, and they want that equity. So just please be careful. Anyway, let me know what you think. I love this guy. He's super sharp, 94, wants to sell his primary residence. It's a great property, but it's going to kill him if he moves. He says he's going to move by himself, and let me know, what would you do in this situation? I'm here to protect him. I want to help him. We've done business. He's super sharp. Doesn't want me to tell his kids, but I'm having a little quandary, whatever that word is, of what to do about that one. But we'll get it sold. If you're looking for a $700,000 property near Old Town, let me know. Let's get that done for him. But I want to do what's best for the clients, and he's been a good client. So he's a super nice guy. We're super funny, and picks up the phone, and we have old school conversations. So political conversations, and we're not on the same page, so it's fun. So anyway, I got $800,000 Sonoran Parkway. That is a steal, but it's been a little bit slow out in that section. Just the amount of buyers out there looking, and the competition is heating up. So you cannot test the market on if you're selling a property right now. You've got to hit that sales price spot on right out of the gate. You have, I always say, 30 days to sell your property. That's when you get the most eyes and that on your property. And it's like fishing, you cast the largest net, and that's why we're with Berkshire, with the network, and I feel like, like I said before, we get the most hits, easily the most hits on our properties when we list them. So commercial's starting to pick up again. The commercial is definitely getting busy again. And we're doing a lot of valuations. What we do on the commercial side, we work with clients more just informative and find them properties. We're teaching. I talked to a guy in San Francisco, a wealth manager. We're putting an event together about owning your real estate as a small business person. And, I always go back to Murphy at Amway. He recognizes that. He's doing real well. We're actually looking at some other buildings for him to buy just because it's owning the real estate makes sense. If you have a small business, it's your exit strategy, it's family income, and generational wealth. So commercial's picking up. I even saw the mortgage-backed securities market last quarter activity increased by 21%. So there's things moving on the commercial market. There's a lot of private money out there. Lending is starting to tighten up a little bit. If you're looking for a small business loan, give us a call. We have a great guy, 6.39%, 25 years on a small business loan for your real estate, and they'll even throw in some working capital money in that loan too. So, if we can't help you, we know where to point you in the right direction. So it's all about relationships and working through things. So my buddy of mine in Laguna keeps texting me. So, hey, Tom, what's happening? Commercial, it's busy. And actually, we got a great phone call. We're on a new project. We're looking for agricultural, about 50 acres for a chicken egg laying farm. I guess eggs are the new gold. So that's fun. I did a lot of homework and research on that this week. So if you have 50 acres agricultural in the Phoenix area, give me a shout. We've got a buyer for it. So IKEA is opening a new store by Paradise Valley Mall. Phoenix Airport. It's always been kind of a dead area. Actually, when we first moved to Arizona, I gave a guy a bag of cash, $12,000. He set the deal up. He wanted $12,000 cash for it was like a half acre, and we turned around and we sold it for $45,000 30 days later. So, but that area has always been kind of a dead area because nobody knew what to do with it. But now there's a lot of light industrial and big industrial coming into that Phoenix Airport market, and there's a lot of transactions happening there. 6 acres. If you're looking for commercial 6-acre development in a small shopping center, it's the last 6 acres. It's coming back on the market. The last 6 acres up by Desert Mountain before you reach the Tonto National Forest. If you want to put a car garage, something, or build storage units, I think would be great there. Just build a small development. It's we're going to see actually our friend here in a minute. He's got the listing coming up. So, that's I think there's a big opportunity in that one. So, like I said, that's what we do on the commercial side and the residential. We find opportunities for clients. And but you got to pick up your phone. So, a couple of them don't like to answer their phone so much, but things happen pretty quick. So once it's out there in the public market, then then things go quick. So anyway, economy. Big news this week. It's been kind of quiet, but big news this week is Fed held interest rates steady. That doesn't really matter to you and I. And like I've been saying for 6 months, a year, there's really no reason to cut interest rates. The Fed needs to be very careful. Their job is to manage the money supply in America, manage liquidity. We had a 10-year auction this week, and it's about duration. It's moving the liquidity and the money supply from the short term to the long term. We had a great 10-year auction this week. 30-year auction yesterday didn't go so well. The dealers bought back a lot of the bonds, and actually the government has started buying back and building up their balance sheet again just to keep liquidity in the market. Remember, it's not always the interest rate you get on your investment, but it's access to that rate. And what is getting that rate cost? A mortgage broker may advertise 5%. It may cost you $20,000 to get that 5% rate, whereas somebody else might have offer 6%, 6.5%, when there's a lot lower cost. So got to look at all the parameters. Talk to your mortgage broker, talk to your real estate, your financial guy, and know what's happened. So that this economy is good. GDP has slowed down a little bit, which is okay. And I always go back to racing, car racing, motorcycle racing. If somebody looks like they're fast and they're really aggressive, they're probably a lot of spam this week too. So anyway, slow is fast in the racing world, and it's the same with the economy. You want a nice, steady GDP growth. Jobs are still strong, so this economy's moving. Personal spending was up this week, so people are spending money. It concerns me, the credit markets. Credit card debt is high, and things are expensive. But at least things are moving, and the economy's moving along. So. A friend of mine posted this morning, he's a mortgage broker back in Connecticut. It's not what people say, it's what they do. So pay attention to the actions and what you want. If you want to buy a property, if you want to buy an investment property, then let's do it. What's not what you say, it's what you do. So anyway, I got to run in here. I got to run a little late here. If I can help you buy or sell residential, commercial land, if you have a question, if I can help you work through a deal, my job is to take the emotion out of your deal. Just show you the facts. And we got a busy day running around here. We'll be in some fancy houses later, which you guys all like. So anyway, have a great day. Be smart. Be safe. Thanks again for watching. Please don't hesitate to call if you have any questions. I know we just touched the tips of things here on this real quick. So maybe we'll go into doing this a couple times a week just so we can go more in depth and make some YouTube videos of more in-depth things. So anyway, we're here to help. Thanks for watching. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. Most important job in the world. And I got my wife right next to me. She's awesome. Anyway, have a great day. Talk to you later.